Ball gang, Chargers fan, it's officially that time of the year, combine week, where everyone's going to make their claim on, is this guy going to be good? Is that guy going to be ass? And I swear, bro, if this guy gets in the right situation, or I swear this guy's so overhyped or so underrated, whatever it may be. It's that time of the year. Everyone to make their calls. And because it's combine week, Chargers are picking at 22. I'm going to go over some players that are probably not going to be there, but still a chance. And then some players who are most likely going to be there are the ones that are most commonly linked to us. Now, look, I'm not going to sit here and do a 7-round mock draft. I got a full-time job. I can't fucking be here, 360 players, have a full depth analysis. But for the most part, I've looked at some film. I've looked at some analysis from people I trust, some sort of scouting reports I trust. And am I a genius? No, but just content, you know what I mean? Number one on that list got to be Genty. Do I see him falling to us? No. Do I need to do analysis of him? No. I mean, this dude's like Bijan, like in the sense where everyone knows about him. Dude's super popular. If you want to look at analysis, just all the comparisons are LT, and you see it. Just the contact balance, just can do it all. But he's probably not going to be there. I don't see him slipping past the Cowboys. I don't see him slipping past the Broncos. Just there's so many places he could go that he just a playmaker, and I don't see him falling to us. But if he's there, you fucking run to the board and pick number 22, Ashton Genty. Next ones, these two kind of go hand in hand. The position that a lot of people aren't really talking about is corner for the Chargers. And with the corner, we had Hart and Tarheeb do really well. Just at the end of the day, we probably still need that number one corner, just to one, fill the room, and two, just to get that upside. And these players, these two specifically, Will Johnson, Jahdae Barron, they're probably not going to be there. So before you run to the comments, this is Will Johnson, Jahdae Barron, the combination of just the other prospects, and it seems like corner isn't that a big of a pick this year. So maybe they fall a little bit. Do I see it happening? Probably not. The most likely one, maybe Will Johnson because of that whole injury thing. But if they're there, same fucking thing. You can lock in number one corner. Do it. Take it. Next ones, the next player that everyone wants because the dude blew up the Senior Bowl, Mike Green. Same thing. If you told us, if we were making this video a month ago, yeah, he'd probably be in the back half of the first round, maybe the top of the second. He probably won't be there. That dude's getting too much hype. He's smaller school and all that, but just he destroyed the Senior Bowl, and realistically he won't be there. But if you can get Mike Green, you can shore up the outside, him and Mac, or him, Mac, and Thule. Maybe we keep Boza, but we'll talk about that in another video. But if you can shore up your defensive line on the outside and just get that do it all fucking playmaker, you grab Mike Green. But most likely he just won't be there. There's too much hype coming around, but you never know. There's a chance. And the last two, the Michigan boys, Kenneth Grant, Colston Loveland. These two are going to be honestly going to be right at the not likely, but somewhat likely. Loveland has just gotten so much hype, especially in the past 2 weeks. I think everyone kind of wrote him off because of his 2024 season, but you can argue that offense wasn't that great. But if you look at 2023 season, dude's a fucking, obviously you don't want to make comparisons because that kind of disparages the player and the player they're being comped against. But for example, Tyler Warren is essentially a Gronk type player, just big as shit. And then Loveland is like a Kelsey type player, still big, but just kind of knows how to get open and run a seam route or just find those open spaces. So again, you don't want to get your hopes up. Oh man, fucking Travis Kelce. And I think we've had enough fucking torture of Kelce over the years that you have a chance at getting a Kelsey type player or a resemblance of it. Just a sure-handed, run the vertical seam, just a reliable target for Herbert, big body for Herbert. You fucking do it. Run the board. I argue this is probably in the top 3 of run to the board. Only people I'd put ahead of him, probably Genty and probably Mike Green or another DN. But if he's there, you fucking take him. Another one right on the bottom of the not likely, and the top of the maybe likely, would be Kenneth Grant. Dude's a great. Listen, if you want to just shore up your defensive line, which is he played for Michigan, so obviously the Chargers are going to play like Michigan in the sense of you don't necessarily Michigan didn't necessarily have the craziest outside, but they just had really good contain and interior, just shore it up, take up double teams, stop the run. Kenneth Grant, potential for days, and could he fall? Now this draft is loaded with defensive line, so that could cause him to drop a little bit. And hey, maybe there's a chance where once you get to that 15 to 25 range, that's when it gets a little like less predictable in the sense where people might go for, they might start the run on a certain position or they might continue a run. So you never really know. Is there a chance he could fall? Maybe. I'd probably put him right under Loveland. Yeah, I think I'd put him right under Loveland just because even though we're probably going to get Puna forward, we're probably going to get Tier Tart back. But just, dude, he's just so big. He's just so fast. Just run that way. I don't know. Could be there. Who knows? At 22, we can go a couple different ways. This draft is loaded with running backs. This draft is loaded with D-line. One thing it's not really necessarily loaded with is like offensive talent. Now, I know everybody wants to get a receiver. The only receiver I could realistically see us going for, just because of the style, the fit, what we're looking for. I mean, who's better than McMillan? Dude would be a fucking great fit. Just, everyone's kind of comparing him to like Drake London. I've heard some people say T. Higgins. Like, I wouldn't say probably a mix of the two, but just the dude is like the epitome of like, he's not the fastest. If he could run in the 4.5s, that'd be great, but he's not the fastest, but just the body control, like some of those catches that he's made where like, you're like, man, that guy's, he's not open. He has to go back 2 yards to get the ball and fucking anyways. If you haven't seen his tape, dude, exactly what we need. He's not necessarily gonna be a man beater and like be 3 yards away from his defender, but he's a man beater in the sense where he's so good at like just using the little like sudden movements with his body and kind of blocking the defender off where like, yeah, it doesn't look open, but he's open kind of thing. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, and from what it looks like, the dude's such a good character, great story, coming out of Hawaii. So if he's there, I could totally see us getting McMillan. Do I want us to go receiver in the first? Probably not, especially if we get Devontae, which I think we will. Please, please, please. But McMillan would be a great fucking pick. Great pick. Especially you get him and Ladd. They would complement each other so well. So well. I mean, do you want to double the guy who can turn a 50-50 ball into an 80-20 ball? Or do you want to double the guy who can put two defenders on fucking skates? Like, I don't know. Great fit. Wouldn't be against it. Now, obviously, we don't need tackles, which are the more premium position in the offensive line and just in the overall football team. But I know people aren't going to like this, but dude, Gray Zabel or Tyler Booker, even Donovan, I forget his last name, but Donovan, like I could totally see us. For Donovan, most likely we probably trade down a bit, but like Gray Zabel, Donovan, Tyler Booker, like I know people probably be against that, but Gray Zabel, he could literally play all along the line, guard, center, tackle, the versatility. Dude held his own against like all the best pass rushers and bull rushers at the Senior Bowl. Dude would be fucking great. Again, is it a reach at 22? Yeah, like, why would you get a guard? But like, man, if you can get your future center, like if you can get a potential top 10 center, top 5 center that's, gonna play for 10, 15 years and you can like almost lock that in, like why would you not? Oh, but you just do it. Same with Tyler Booker. Tyler Booker, like Tyler Booker, just a big guard, dude. Just like, I don't know what else you would want. I mean, if you put him I think you play on the right guard, but you put him on the left side with him and Rashawn, God, I mean, put him with Joe Alt, like, dude, you can't go wrong. And on top of that, like, all you heard from Alabama was like, typically from most teams, the center or the big, the big safety or the big corner or the linebacker or the quarterback, they're the leaders of the team. Like, no, everyone says Tyler Booker was that dude. Like, for a guard to be a leader of a team says a lot about him. And like, dude, it's just that if he really is that kind of guy, that leadership, like just to have along the line, like same thing with Gray Zabel. Like if you can get a guy that's going to be fucking good, legit good, like guarantee he's not necessarily being all pro. If he was, that'd be great. But like just a guy you can play for 10 years, like, yeah, there's that thing they always say, like potential gets you fired. So like, yeah, this guy has potential too, but it's a lot of times we're banking on it. More often than not, they're not going to hit. Just like you want to try to pick, like you really don't want to miss on your first round pick. And those 3 players, I just don't see us like, dude, they're just like, same thing with like Joe Alt. When we got to Joe Alt, like a big white corn-fed middle of the country, like just draft them and fucking move on, right? So out of those 3, I'd probably rank it Gray Zabel just because that dude can play all on the line. Tyler Booker and then Donovan. I'm blanking on his last name. I apologize. It'll be right here. But if you go Donovan, and if we go Donovan, most likely it'll be a trade-down situation where we're like at the 28, 25, 26. But you get the point. Get those 3. Call it a day. Surefire pick, move on. In terms of D-line that could be there, I already mentioned Kenneth Grant. Another one would be like Shamar Stewart. This is kind of what I was saying earlier, like potential will get you fired. Dude's potential, like, I mean, just the athletic ability alone. He makes some plays where you're just like, how did he even make, right? But at the same time, they're not consistent. Like, oh yeah, but dude, he has the potential to get there. And like I said, could he? Yeah, like I'm not disparaging him. His ceiling's super high. It's just, especially like if you're like thinking, hey, this is our year, or we have our year the next couple of years, you kind of want a surefire pick, especially considering how good the D-line was already. Like you kind of don't want to whiff on it and don't want to invest a first round pick into a potential whiff of a pick. So I don't see us going for him. And for that same reason, I can see him dropping. Originally, people had him like in the top 10, top 15. I could totally see him start dropping a little bit just because of, again, just you kind of don't want to miss on your first round pick. But combine's up. If that dude tests out of his ass, which you probably will. Why do I keep saying tests out of his ass? If that dude tests out of his shoes, I guess, I don't know if that's the phrase, but if that dude tests really well, he could probably go shoot right back up into the top 15, but he's an option. The next two potential that I could see being there, Mykel Williams, and I'm not going to try to pronounce this, but Donovan, one more time, Donovan, I'm not going to try to pronounce that. Mykel Williams, I don't know why, I have like a intuition he'll be there. Like, if you think about it, he shouldn't be there. I have no reason to say this, but I just kind of feeling he'll be there. I don't know why. Don't kill me for it. I don't know. There's something telling me he'll be there. But Mykel Williams and Donovan, again, I'm not going to pronounce it. Mykel Williams or Donovan, again, kind of like Mike Green, if you can just get your D-end of the future, get him and Tully together, have him learn from Khalil Mack or Joey Buzz or whoever I'm keeping, or we end up keeping both. Future, pass rush, run stoppers, like just do it. Same thing. It's a premium position. If you compare him and Tully for the long term. And again, the whole Michigan defense wasn't about necessarily the craziest outside rushers, just more about like contain and put pressure on it. So you don't necessarily need that crazy high-end ceiling, but like if you can just put pressure on the quarterback and like kind of let the back seven do what they have to do, like just do it. And again, they have great potential, solid floors. I mean, this draft's loaded with DN, so just do it. Again, Mykel Williams probably won't be there, but just something's telling me he could have had a chance. And I could totally see us going there. And the last ones would be running back, specifically Omarion Hampton and Travion Henderson. I know it's like, oh, he's not Gen T, and we can get Scatabo in the fucking fourth round or third round, whatever. Like, there's a lot of running backs in this draft, but if you want like a bell cow, just can do it all. When it comes to consistency on ranking prospects, when it comes to consistency of like what teams need and what route they're most likely to go with, Daniel Jeremiah is arguably top 3, right? I don't know how else you don't see him. And he has us taking Omarion Hampton. And I wouldn't be against it. At first, I was kind of like, I don't know. But dude, he fits what we need in terms of like, he's just big, just go, dude. Omarion Hampton, Travion Henderson, in terms of what we need, like that bell cow can literally 3 down. They both do it differently. Do you want Omarion Hampton who's going to get you like a consistent, 5 to 10 yards? Or do you want Travion Henderson who can consistently get you those big play, 15 plus rush yards? I mean, take your pick. You really can't go wrong. Don't be against it. I know everybody wants Gen T, and if we don't get Gen T to take a running back, oh yeah, I mean, we could do that. But in terms of a bell cow, especially if we get the interior O-line fixed in free agency, specifically Omarion Hampton, just because he's so big, and just that power back, again, do it all, block, pass, catch, run. I mean, especially for someone like Harbaugh, like we need someone just big, right? Big, strong, go get us 6 yards every single time. But same thing with Travion Henderson. Travion Henderson's more like JK, more that big playability, but I'd be happy either way. So the combine is here. Those are some of the players to look out for. I might say those are the guaranteed players we're going to draft. No. But if you're just starting to watch the combine, if you're just trying to catch up on the offseason, trying to figure out the options we could go for, all of those players are definitely options. But on that note, bolt up, ASAP, any squad, any place, family, trust, respect. Have a good week.